Coming to you live from Nairobi, Kenya. This is Newsfeed right here, TV 47. Quite a lot lined up for you this particular hour, including the 22 cabinet nominees. The Attorney General and the Secretary to the Cabinet took their oaths of office today, pledging to conduct the functions diligently and in accordance with the law. But before the new CSs, AG and Secretary to the Cabinet was sworn in, the highest-ranking civil servant in Ruto's administration, the Chief of Staff and Head of Public Service, Felix Koskei, had to take an oath so he could spearhead the process. His predecessor, Joseph Kinyua, administered the oath.
I, Wycliffe Musalia Mudavadi,
being appointed as the Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya, do swear that
I'll obey, respect, and uphold this Constitution of Kenya and all other laws of the Republic.
That I undertake to hold my office as Cabinet Secretary with honor and dignity.
And faithful counselor to the President for the good management of the public affairs of the Republic of Kenya.
That I will well and truly serve the people and the Republic of Kenya.
And I will perform my functions of my office conscientiously and to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
And still on the same matters, President William Ruto has asked his cabinet to hit the ground running to ensure that the promises they made on the campaign trail are actualized. While telling the 24 cabinet team that there will be no room for failure, the president has also asked the cabinet to serve all Kenyans equally, forgetting the tribal lines. The head of state also highlighted that he was looking forward to listening to his cabinet and their advice so that the government can manage the affairs of the nation.
I expect each and every one of you, as I do, of all public servants, to uphold the Constitution and the rule of law to be front and center in the administration of our government. I didn't hear any one of you swear to serve their friends or their families or their regions or their religions. Each one of us here have sworn to serve the people of Kenya. I look forward to listening to you and your advice so that we can manage the affairs of our nation, because even though I stand here as president, I do not have the monopoly of all knowledge. I expect that you will enrich the plans, the thoughts, the programs, and the plan we have with your advice.
And we'll definitely be unpacking all that in our subsequent 7 and 9 p.m. bulletins. Now to something else. The 5 more officers from the disbanded Special Services Unit, SSU, of the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, DCI, who were arrested Wednesday, will be arraigned in court Monday next week, with officers saying they will be facing abduction charges. The 5 were arrested in connection with the disappearance of 2 Indian nationals and their Kenyan taxi driver. This now brings to 9 the number of individuals arrested in connection with a case which is said to have attracted the interest of the highest office on the land. The officers are currently being held at the Industrial Area Police Station, with their lawyer decrying the failure by the court to grant them a police bond.
Given the analogy of the casualty department,
we can take the date of now.
And again, let's I would and to others, have you engaged?
We now have a new date. The other matter that was coming up for hearing on Friday, tomorrow, now has been pushed to Monday, so that all these applications are consolidated to be argued on Monday, whether the state will get the 30 days. Of great concern, is the manner in which the police officers who are investigating this matter are handling their police officers. It is as if, one, the suspects are already condemned, that they are guilty. 2, every other day they are arresting in piecemeal. The first lot, 2 people were arrested. After almost 2 weeks, another 4 were arrested. After almost another week, another 5 have been arrested. this, if the trend goes on, probably because we have a police force of around 80,000, every police officer is likely to be arrested and be arraigned in court because the internal unit is arresting in piecemeal.
Again, I've talked about the rights, ensure their families access them, ensure the advocates access them. As to where they can be remanded is not within my powers. We are 3 arms of government, now that is executive arm. My direction and my order is that they are safe, their rights are maintained. When they come back and raise a complaint that they have been mistreated, that is when now I step in.
And still on the matters justice, the Kenyan investigative organ, Directorate of Criminal Investigations, DCI, has now invited all affected families to appear before the new boss, Amin Mohammed, and make statements to assist unravel what transpired before the abductions of their kins. The meeting is expected to resolve around the missing loved ones, partly attributed to the enforced abductions, with some of the kin suspected to have been executed by the disbanded Special Services Unit, SSU, of the DCI. The families of Mwenda Mbijiwe and Samson Tekle Michael have confirmed to meet with the investigative organ as soon as possible.
That went viral of him being picked. Interior CS, so that Kenyans can then air their views, air their concerns. And we have had extrajudicial killings perpetrated by officers who were meant to protect the lives of Kenyans, but turned rogue and engaged in extra-legal activities, killing and forcefully disappearing Kenyans. We call, as we stand today, to the government to take extra steps beyond disbanding the dreaded SSU. And as we speak about the SSU, we also want to remind the President and the security authorities that these killer units go beyond the SSU. We have information implicating, for example, the KWS, and we call today here on the authorities to equally investigate the Kenya Wildlife Services, which was under the Ministry of Tourism, for their role in abducting, killing, and disappearing Kenyans. We also call on the same unit to investigate, we also call on the authorities to investigate other units, such as the ATPU, some units within the KDF, the Kenya Forestry Services, and the Anti-Stock Theft Unit, who have equally been engaged in other killings and enforced disappearances.
But from a reliable source, tunajua Mbijewa is very much alive na alichukuliwa na serikali ambayo iliisha muda wake August 9. So ombi langu, kwa sababu hata Deputy President Kachagua wakati alikuwa na mkutano kubwa sana huko Meru ya campaign mwezi wa Julai, alisema Mwenda is being around by very high profile people who are untouchable. Hawezi kuhusika, alisema hivyo, na akasema kama mtatupigia kura mimi na Ruto tuwe president na deputy, tutaleta mtoto wenu Meru.
It is very difficult for me. It is very difficult for my children. We couldn't be able to move on because we don't know whether he's alive or not. Yes, sources are telling us he's okay, he's alive. But this person is communicado for 1 year. What did he do? There's law for everything. If he has done something, let him go to court.
You are watching TV47, the home of untold stories.
Hii leo nitakuwa nikizungumza naye mbunge wa Kitui East, si mwingine ila ni Nimrod Mbai, kuweza kufahamu maisha yake katika Mfahamu Kiongozi.
Niko kwa ukulima, ufungaji. Niko na ranch. I think na si kubrag, na si kusema, I think I own the biggest ranch in the Lower Eastern region, Ukambani.
Unashabikia klabu gani when it comes to EPL na vile vile hapa Kenya?
Shida yangu sina klabu, nilikuwa mimi hufuata Mourinho.
If I speak, I am in big trouble.
Mimi hufuata Jose Mourinho. Mahali ameenda ndio naendanga. Yaani napenda ile training yake. So ile klabu ana train ndio natakanga ishinde.
Kama hana uko break.
Kama hana na support the winning team.
Mimi Elizabeth.
Want to know the meaning of a soft life? It's living with ease and accessing quality lifestyle while taking a swim. It's taking care of your body in a 5-star gym while you achieve your fitness goals. It's living in a serene and quiet neighborhood. It's about staying in a place with spacious driveways and ample parking. It's about living in a safe and secure environment. It's about convenient shopping. Soft life is living comfortable in affordable and yet an elegant space. It's everything stylish. Here's to introducing Great Rift Apartments, located at the heart of Nakuru City in Kisulisuli Estate, just a few minutes from the Central Business District. Great Rift Apartments, the hub of soft living. You are watching TV 47, the home of untold stories.
Right, thank you for staying with us. We do apologize for that technical hitch. Let's continue updating you more, and let's take up where I had left. Kwale residents have tasked Mining Cabinet Secretary Salim Mvurya with implementing the Mining Act of 2016 just moments after he took oath of office. The residents want Mvurya to prioritize challenges facing the mining industry and ensure residents who are affected by the operations of base titanium to receive 10% commission as directed by the Act. They have also called on the CS to engage mining companies so that they can offer employment opportunities to locals. Yeah.
Tuna matumaini na yeye sana, kwa sababu kama Kwale matumaini yetu makubwa, utajiri wetu sisi ni madini. Madini ya base titanium ambayo kwa muda mrefu sana tumekuwa tukililia ile percentage yetu 30 ambayo hapa kwetu Kwale hatujawahi iona.
Maajabu ni kwamba kutoka mwaka wa 2016 mpaka sasa hii wale watu hawajapata pesa zao na hazijajulikana pesa zimepelekwa wapi. Tunamwomba Mheshimiwa Mvurya akiingia kwa ofisi afuatilie hili swala la ma-community, hii pesa inaenda wapi.
Kuna ule mradi wa pale Mrima ambao kuna madini ambayo yanataka yamepatikana pale Mrima. Tuna uhakika kuwa Mvurya atatuwezesha kama Wakwale na wana Lungalunga, tutapata kazi nzuri na tutapata kazi kama vijana.
Right, let's cross over to the northern part of Kenya now, and Turkana Governor Jeremiah Lemurkai's case, in which he is seeking anticipatory bail against arrest by the EACC, has been moved to 7th November for inter-party hearing. The hearing was conducted virtually today by Kapsabet High Court Judge Ruben Nyakundi, who directed the parties to return to court for the determination of the case filed under certificate of urgency. EACC North Rift Manager Japheth Baithuli says the commission can still move to arrest the governor, but denied allegations they were planning to lay an ambush. Through his counsel Tom Ojenda, Lemurkai had alleged that there was a plan to lay an ambush, prompting him to seek an anticipatory bond at the High Court.
To have a hearing in a case where His Excellency the Governor Turkana County and summoned us to court to answer to this application of an anticipatory bail. However, it did not appear
But we entered appearance, ECC entered appearance, and the DPP also entered appearance. The matter was heard virtually, and it was adjourned to 7th November, where we are going to have a fresh date before Honorable Nyakundi.
And meanwhile, a day after President William Ruto made his stand clear on the abolishment of the Kazi Mtaani program, members of the clergy in Kilifi have urged him to instead revive it. Speaking during a county dialogue forum organized to review the post-elections held in August this year, the religious stakeholders noted that the program ensured many youth steer away from crime and drug abuse. On his part, Lieutenant Dennis Mulati, a youth leader in the Coast Region and the National Council of Churches in Kenya, NCCK, stated that the head of state should consider the majority of youth who might miss the chances of benefiting from the housing programs yet to be adopted as the alternative. The Kazi Mtaani initiative was introduced by immediate former President Uhuru Kenyatta in 2020 so as to alleviate the hard economic times the country was facing during the COVID-19 pandemic.
wa kuweza kutathmini matukio baada ya uchaguzi ambao ulikwisha kamilika. Kwa hivyo tumekuja hapa ili tukaweze kuangalia the best practices ambazo zilifanyika baada ya uchaguzi na mambo mengine ambayo hayakufanyika vizuri, ili baada hapo tukaweze kutafuta way forward ili kwa ajili ya uchaguzi unaokuja mwaka 2027 tukaweze kuwa ni uchaguzi ambao utakuwa bora zaidi.
Wakati hii kazi ilipokuwepo, tuliona wanafunzi wengi wakijisaidia kupitia ile pesa. Tuliona watu vijana wengi hawakuhusika katika wizi, vijana wengi hawakutumika katika hali ya miadarati, na wengi hawakukaa tu borere ama hawakutaka kuvuna wasipopanda. Lakini ijulikane kwamba hii shughuli nzima iliwasaidia vijana wengi sana, na hata katika huo muda ambapo Kazi Mtaani imekuwepo hapa Pwani, ni kweli kuwa vijana visa vingi vimepungua ambavyo vilikuwa vya ujambazi.
Right, moving on, the Kenya National Union of Nurses, NAN, has called for the disbandment of the Local Authority Pension Fund Board with immediate effect lest they go to court, alleging mismanagement of funds. Led by NAN Secretary General Seth Panyako, they said the board was unconstitutionally constituted and that the scheme has become a cash cow for some individuals at the expense of poor Kenyan workers. Addressing the media in Kakamega town today, Panyako urged the new CS Treasury Professor Njuguna Ndung'u, who was sworn in today, to address the matter immediately by constituting a new board, saying many will be in for road shock with no funds during the retirement due to mismanagement of the LAP fund.
Every fund that is run on a DC fund must not have less than 50% representative of the workers. We are now having a fund called LAP Fund, where 80% of the nurses are members of a LAP Fund, being run by retired politicians, brokers. I want to let Dr. Njuguna that immediately you are sworn in, the first job you are going to do today, it is to dissolve the board of LAP Fund and LAP Trust, because those are our funds. We must ensure that not less than 50% of those board members are coming from the workers. So those boards must be dissolved before close of business this week. If that does not happen, we will take the next step next week, move to court, stop those boards from operations, and ask the court to direct for lifestyle audit and an audit of what they have done during the time they have been in office without workers' representative. I am told we moved from a house where we were paying 700,000 shillings per month to a house of one of the leading lawyers in this country where we are paying 5 million per month. How do you pay rent of 5 million? We have our own house in Nairobi. We must move away from that house of that lawyer, a senior lawyer of this country.
And to some county politics now, as the race for the Bungoma senatorial seat heats up, various candidates have begun various strategies aimed at getting support from area leaders. Former Webuye MP Joshua Mangoli is the latest to come out and throw his weight behind independent candidate Enoch Makoha. Mangoli says despite other youthful candidates from the region, Makoha is the best bet for the seat as he understands the needs of the electorate.
Tutafute kiongozi ambaye ana njia, ana sababu, anaweza kuzungumza na serikali, tuwe ndani ya serikali. Niposa akifanya oversight kwa governor wetu Lusaka iwe njia ya complementary to each other. Hapana hiyo mvutano.
Ndahakikisha ya kwamba nimenunua ambulance 9 ambulance in every constituency. Ndakuweka ambulance moja Makoha Rescue Team. Na nitakuwa na call center, wafanyakazi wa kukaa mahali sehemu ya Bungoma mahali kwa ofisi ya kuhakikisha 24-hour service inafanya vizuri. Every ambulance itakuwa inafanya operation kwa every constituency. Makoha Rescue Team itakuwa ina operate 24 hours. Na ndahakikisha ya kwamba ile service ya ambulance imefunction vizuri kwa promising muda ambayo ndakuwa nafanya kazi na nyinyi.
And now to some good news in the telco world. Giant telco company Safaricom has officially launched Kenya's first 5G network, becoming the first firm to deploy the technology commercially in East Africa. According to Safaricom, the network is fast and will allow customers to enjoy reliable connection. Customers with compatible phones will, however, be able to use the network soon, the company said when it starts selling the 5G data packages. The firm has 35 active 5G sites in Nairobi and other major cities, and it plans to increase that number to 200 by March next year. It started testing the network last year.
And what I see is some kind of paradox. You can see enthusiasts, people who are really pushing this direction in terms of where we should be going. But then the majority of us get a little bit concerned about the reordering of the way of living. You know, a lot of us default to the common, the conventional, the traditional. But with this type of innovation or evolution of network capability or connectivity, we have to move ourselves from the traditional, the conventional, to the new world. And that's what the tech companies are actually doing.
Businesses to reap the digital dividend, grow sustainably and be part of disruption sweeping across many industrial sectors and many industries and sectors. The new government has made ICT as central to how to empower the population, and we believe 5G will be another addition to the ability of this country to go and march forward. So in March last year, we became the first operator in the country to commence 5G trials for our customers. At that time, we only had about 15 sites. Today, as we go live, we have just over 35 sites live, and there is quite a few more that are being built. And we will grow this to about 200 by March 2023.
Definitely time for the wonderful world of sports. Former Chief Administrative Secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ababu Namwamba, took oath as the new Sports Cabinet Secretary. Ababu takes office from Amina Mohamed, and among the key responsibilities that awaits him is reinstating the state of normalcy in Kenyan football.
I, Ababu Namwamba, being appointed a Cabinet Secretary of Kenya, do swear that I will at all times be faithful to the Republic of Kenya, that I'll obey, respect, and uphold this Constitution of Kenya and all other laws of the Republic, that I'll well and truly serve the people and the Republic of Kenya in the office of Cabinet Secretary, that I undertake